While music certainly is very important to any form of media, especially for me personally, it has a unique role in the Animal Crossing series. Longtime fans understand how crucial the music is to the atmosphere of these games which are intended to be relaxing, simple, and slow. New Horizons has now been out for over a month, thus we need to ask the question, does the music of Animal Crossing New Horizons do its job? Hey y'all, I'm the Geek Apprentice talking about today two very special topics, Animal Crossing and music. As aforementioned, the music, and I specifically am focusing on the hourly music, plays a huge part in the overall feel of Animal Crossing games. They are meant to be relaxing and simple, just as the game is relaxing and simple. Now, each new addition to the franchise brings new elements, of which the background music ought to reflect. So does the music of Animal Crossing New Horizons do the job? Is it relaxing? Does it fit the vibe of this specific installment? Well, this ended up being far more difficult and complicated to answer than I initially thought. Frankly, this is extremely subjective, and let me say that again. Any analysis of the music is going to be subjective. No one can say definitively yes or no to the proposed question, at least not on an objective scale. You can only answer it for yourself and you alone. With this in mind, I'm going to be answering a series of questions concerning the score. Do I personally enjoy it? How do I compare it to previous Animal Crossing hourly themes? Is it relaxing? And does it fit this specific Animal Crossing game? Again, it all comes down to opinion, but here we go. Do I enjoy listening to the hourly themes of New Horizons? Right out of the gate, more complex to answer than it sounds. On the one hand, yes, but on the other hand, that would be going into other answers to other questions that I haven't gotten to yet. So sticking with the base question here, yes, I do enjoy listening to it. It's good, it's nice. I think there are only like 2 or 3 hourly themes that really grind my gears, but overall though, yes, I find them enjoyable. Answering this one took some time considering I haven't heard the themes of Population Growing, which is the GameCube one, and Wild World in, over 10 years? But I couldn't rank New Horizons without re-listening to all of the themes so they could all get a fair shot, which means listening to all of the themes over 5 Animal Crossing installments. For those of you keeping score, that's 120 themes. Also, nostalgia is going to inevitably find its way to being interwoven into this opinion. So, again, let me emphasize, opinion. Going through each of the games, I simply wrote down which themes I liked and added it up. Coming out on top was both Wild World and City Folk. Here's the thing though. Despite putting hundreds of hours into each of these games, I never knew that City Folk just reused the music of Wild World. Just went over my head, I guess. So it's not so much a tie as much as they are literally the same. The number came out to 20 out of the 24 themes being ones that I really liked. New Leaf was right behind at 19, so this just leaves Population Growing and New Horizons. First of all, it's been so long since I played Population Growing that there were themes I flat out did not remember, even daytime ones, though I've heard them all, because I have nothing against adjusting the time to get certain fish because I won't be up at 3 a.m, thank you very much. But still, there were others that hit my nostalgia hard. Anyway, score-wise, New Horizons came out slightly ahead, having 14 themes I really liked, whereas Population Growing had 13. So that means New Horizons comes next to last, right? Well, not exactly, because there's one other thing I haven't accounted for. Rain. I could have sworn the music in Animal Crossing changed slightly whenever it was raining, but in my research it was hard to find those specific themes. From what I can tell, it does change, but it's more so a slight alteration of the original theme for that specific hour, except for New Horizons. You see, this was one of the aspects of the music I was most looking forward to, and I have yet to hear a noticeable difference in the hourly themes when it's raining. And it's rained a lot on my island. I'm pretty sure this alteration usually goes for snow as well, so I can probably assume that there's no change during snow in New Horizons either. Gotta say, that is really disappointing. For that reason, New Horizons is ranked the lowest of all the Animal Crossing games as far as comparing the music goes. For me personally, I do find a decent amount of the hourly themes to be relaxing. However, what's disappointing is that unfortunately a lot of them are at times I don't normally play, like 5 a.m. Thus, this is the question where I have to really start pointing out some subjective flaws I found, in addition to the fact that there's no rainy day theme. Most of the songs for New Horizons just aren't as relaxing as I hoped they would be. They're not bad themes, but they lie in stark contrast to all of its predecessors. Which one could argue that kind of fits the direction of this specific installment, but that's getting ahead of myself. Like I said, there are some scores that are very reminiscent of the Animal Crossing I know from the past almost 2 decades, and I would say maybe 6 PM is a good example. Most, however, are not and are also just not as relaxing, at least not in the same way. City Folk and New Leaf were definitely vastly different from one another when it comes to music, but they were both very relaxing. In fact, all 4 of their previous installments shared a certain core that New Horizons seems to lack, thus not quite hitting the mark for the kind of relaxation I and many others were hoping for. But what is that core? The best way I can describe it is that all of the previous games were a lot more bluesy, jazzy, almost elevator music-esque, which sounds horrible, right? It wasn't though. That simplicity mirrored the game itself. New Horizons isn't as simplistic, so neither is the music, thus not as relaxing. Speaking only for the music, not the game itself. Also, I think this is in part due to the overuse of acoustic guitar, bass, and electric sounding instruments. Sticks out like a sore thumb. The other installments used more lighter instruments, I guess. Light taps on the marimba, glockenspiel, more relaxing sounding instruments, at least to me. So yes, I do find some of the music of New Horizons relaxing, but not a majority of it, though that might be in part due to something I'm going to discuss next. Oh goodness, now it's getting real complex. I've mentioned before that New Horizons seems like the Breath of the Wild of the Animal Crossing franchise, and I mean that both in a literal and metaphorical way. Ironically, what was one of the biggest complaints about Breath of the Wild? Lack of epic music. And what's one of the biggest complaints of New Horizons? Lack of relaxing music. However, going with the question at hand, they fit their respective games. Yeah, I wanted epic music for Breath of the Wild, but that wouldn't have fit the overall atmosphere. And yes, I wanted super relaxing, bluesy music for New Horizons, but it wouldn't really fit how the game is. So, in that sense, the music in New Horizons is a perfect reflection of the game, whether you like it or not. But just because I'm not a huge fan of the music doesn't mean I don't like the game. That's saying something coming from me, who's all about music making or breaking media. New Horizons added a lot of stuff. I won't say content because that's not what the game is about. It's not about story or achievements or goals. It's just you play it. And that's not for everyone. However, there is so much more to do now in New Horizons, like terraforming and getting to decorate more than just the inside of your home, and the music reflects that upgrade. It's thicker and heavier than the music we've come to know for this franchise, just like the game itself. Though I am hoping for more stuff, just not enough to overload this simple game, I love all that we get to do now, and frankly the music reflects that. Yes, the music in New Horizons fits this specific Animal Crossing game. It's just very different, as the game itself is different. Look, I harped a lot on the music of this game in this video, but y'all know why that is. It's my love and emphasis on the importance of music in all forms of media. I like the music. It's not relaxing, if at all. It doesn't compare well to the previous games, but it does fit this specific atmosphere. That's good, but it is weird to feel so polarized, if you will. Typically, if I don't care for the music, I don't really care for whatever media it's being played on. That's not the case here. I may not be over the moon about the music, but I love the game and all that I can do. Some would say there's too much in this Animal Crossing and thus you can't relax. I beg to differ, heavily, but that's for another video. In fact, it's in this video, put on the screen right now. So, does the music of Animal Crossing New Horizons do its job? Well, it depends on which part of the job you're looking at. Me personally, it falls short in relaxation and personal enjoyment, but it excels in meeting the game where it's at. But that's gonna depend on who you're asking because we all have different preferences. Thankfully though, that's not gonna ruin my enjoyment of this game. And that's it for my thoughts on the music of Animal Crossing New Horizons. I knew it was gonna be tough, but dang, way more difficult than I thought. So many variables, questions, polarizing thoughts, it was crazy. But hey, let me know your favorite hourly theme from New Horizons in the comments section below, or if you can't pick one, pick your favorite overall Animal Crossing game for its music. My favorite hourly theme might be a tie between 6 p.m. and 5 a.m., but my favorite themes come from City Folk and New Leaf. If you enjoyed this video, I have plenty of other Animal Crossing content you can check out, so many in fact that I had to create its own playlist. You can also join the geekdom by subscribing and follow me on Instagram if you would like. By the way, I now have a regular gaming live stream schedule. It's going to be on Mondays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so join me for those live streams and watch me begin by failing at the Wind Waker. Massive shout out to my patrons for their support and wonderful awesomeness, such as Joking Batman, Cheap Seats, Lorulian Sheep, Ryan Kirkland, Ryan Harvey, and Sushi Bandit. We've been getting some new patrons lately, and if you are interested in getting your own name shouted out in the video or put on the video screen or in the video description, then just look up the tiers at patreon.com/thegeekapprentice. We actually just had our monthly movie night where we watched Galaxy Quest, and it was such a good time, and we ended up staying in the voice chat for like 2.5 hours later, just, chatting about whatever. It was such a good time. But anyway, that is all for today. Thank you for watching.